So kind of like Final Fantasy 14 style. Let's take a look at open areas. Now I've kind of sectioned it off. And keep in mind that these areas are quite massive, even for the game to be completely open world. That's really massive. But these would be gigantic open areas. And for reference, I mean, look, there's the castle right there. Here's an entire section of land that you're going to be able to go from here to the, I call the military fort. And then like if it's connecting, that means this is going to be like, go through the dotted lines like Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy 12. You go through those dotted lines and you basically teleport to this town or fort, and then you leave that and you go into this fully open area. You got what I think is the Chocobo farm, and then over to this pretty cool area here that's on a cliff, like a town on a cliff. Very interesting. So yeah, so you go in here, you can go through there, and then like maybe some divergent paths start opening up. Maybe you can't go this way until you get, maybe it's like gated exploration, right? You can't go this way until you get a certain transportation or a river chocobo, you know what I mean? So that way it keeps you in this area at the beginning of the game, rather than like at the beginning of the game you get to run all the way to Sanbreque or something like that, or the Dominion, where they probably don't want you to be right off the bat. So keeping you in line with Rosaria, and then once you're out of Rosaria, my predicted path would have you going over to the Iron Kingdom, and then like, hey, here's an entire island for you to explore and live out Clive's time jump, where he's been at during the time away that you get from young Clive to old Clive, learning the ways of the Iron Kingdom and how to like their dismay for dominance and stuff. And then you find your way over here. I got different areas here, so kind of what I've done is I was like thinking, okay, I don't want to go too big with these open areas, and you don't want to add too many locations like Final Fantasy 14 style, right? That's what I just kept thinking in my mind. Final Fantasy 14 open areas where you go through, you come out, maybe this takes you right into this state, and then you come out of that state and you can explore this open area, go visit some other states, come out of here, you can either go to the Dalmekian Parliament, or you can go up here, and then eventually you find your way onto this neutral zone from the Dominion. And you can see how this kind of evokes that Final Fantasy feel, right? Rather than a full open world, if you want to go classic Final Fantasy open world map, then you kind of go to this gated exploration. Like, you can't go this way to the north. You won't be able to explore the Empire's territory yet until you get a river chocobo, right? And you got your mountains that kind of separate this path to keep you on the path that they kind of want you to be, while giving you freedom, a sense of freedom. Very, very open, some different divergent paths. Come in here, you go into there, out here, you got the beastmen and orcs over here, this cool castle. Yeah, and then you kind of come up here to the Kingdom of Valod, and over here to the Empire, which we know for sure because we've seen the screenshot. We've seen the screenshot that this is explorable. And then this is the large open area there, large open area there. Now, hey, you got a river chocobo, or you got a canoe or something. If you're going, you can get that classic Final Fantasy feel back. You got a canoe. Now you can go back over here. Now you can go revisit the Dominion now that you're over on this side. And then now you can go through this river that leads you to this foresty area that we have predicted with this screenshot. Boom, right there. And then little creek or river. Yeah, and then you find your way at the waterfall, and now things are going down, and eventually you're going to have to go kill all of the mother crystals and then slay the Drake's heart at the whirlpool. Anyways, so that's what I think if you do large open areas. What do you think of that? What do you think of large open areas? Does this get you excited? See, like, I know you're thinking like, dude, This gets me way more excited. It's a large open world, gets me way more excited, just because of the map looking the way it does. This literally looks like an open world map. I mean, you can see like the little icons, points of interest. It just feels like an open world map from looking at it. But if not, does large open areas do the same for you? I mean, just think about it. Even though it doesn't look too exciting, this area here doesn't look too exciting. This is what it's going to look like. You know, like it's almost a linear open path. Like, you know what I mean? It's a linear closed in open area, whatever. But this is what it looks like. This is the level of detail in each of these open areas. And I also feel like it might be more realistic in terms of like, if this is the size of that kingdom, you can imagine this is just a small portion of this gigantic map. But hey, I've seen it done in like Assassin's Creed and things like that, where the open world is just enormous. And honestly, I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey is probably a bigger map than this. I don't know. That map was pretty big. So I think it's absolutely possible that it could be an open world. I really do. I absolutely think it could be an open world. Just the team behind Final Fantasy XIV makes me think maybe they've kind of just adopted that style. But I really do. I really do think it's going to be open world, and this is how I feel like it's going to be done. So yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on it. We're approaching 30 minutes on this one. I hope you enjoyed this look at the world map of Final Fantasy XVI, the map of Valisthea. All right, everybody, take care, and let me know how excited you are for this. We're going to start diving into parties, like party or no party, and if that matters, like maybe in a podcast or something. But thanks so much for watching, and you know, hit the subscribe button if you feel like you're a Final fan. Thank you very much.